Hi guys, welcome back to Granny's Kitchen. Today I'm going to make pancakes for you. They're sour cream and nutmeg pancakes. They're absolutely delicious. And I have to give credit, over 20 years ago my friend Jane gave me this recipe, so I'd like to share it with you. You serve it with maple syrup, so they're a thick pancake served with maple syrup and butter. So I thought it would be something nice for you to try for Pancake Tuesday since it's coming up. So the first thing is we need a cup and a half of flour. So I have my trusty mug. Okay, so one, a bit awkward looking here, and a half. Okay, now at home in Ireland, guys, you'll have self-raising flour. You're not going to have to add baking powder, but in Canada there's no baking powder in our flour. So for my Canadian friends, just add a level teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so just a level teaspoon of baking powder, and to that you're going to add a half a teaspoon of bread soda or baking soda. Same thing, just different. Okay, yeah, this is a bit. Okay, so a half a teaspoon of baking soda. This is delicious. Nutmeg. So you're going to add a quarter of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay, so about that much nutmeg. They're so good. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay, tablespoon of sugar. So there are dry ingredients, so we're just going to mix them up. Now in a separate bowl you're going to add your wet ingredients. So we are going to add a cup of milk. For my Irish friends, you'll see our milk comes in a bag in Canada. Oh, which I'm just out of that bag. Okay, so a cup of milk, 1 egg, and put in 2 good heaped tablespoons. See, good heaped tablespoons of sour cream. I'd say maybe about a half a cup of sour cream. Our egg, milk and sour cream, we're just going to give that a mix. And actually I'm going to turn on, I have a griddle frying pan. This is actually ideal for making pancakes, but if you don't have one you can use a frying pan. But unlike Irish pancakes, you don't have it piping hot. Because they're thicker, they take longer to cook. So if you're making a crepe style pancake, your pan would be very hot and they cook very quickly. So turn it to a medium heat. So I'm putting this, it's 300 degrees on my griddle, and on your stove, put it about a medium, but like hot enough that you'll hear it sizzle when you put your batter on, but you will have to cook it longer, so you don't want it to burn. Okay, so I'm mixing up my eggs, sour cream and milk, and unlike with crepe pancakes, you just throw the whole thing in. It's okay if it's lumpy. Okay, so now I'm just mixing my wet ingredients with my dry. So I'm mixing up my pancake batter. Okay, give it a good mix. Now it should be thick. See how thick it is? Much thicker than the Irish pancakes. Okay, so I'm going to pull over my griddle and I'm going to add some butter. A pan spray if you like. If I have it in the house I use it. I just don't happen to have any today. Okay. So I'm going to wait till it reaches the temperature. Okay, so while I was waiting for my pan to heat up, I just put some bacon in my frying pan, or rashers from home, and I'm just going to pour some batter on my griddle. You can use a ladle to do this too if you want. Okay, so I'm just going to make 5 pancakes in this batch. So you want to, you know, you can make them any size you want. These are kind of good size. Okay. So when you're cooking the pancakes, how you know that they're ready to turn is that all the shiny, wet pancake mixture will look kind of dry and there'll be holes in it. So you'll know then that it's ready to flip. That's why I say don't put it on a very high temperature, because you have to let it cook through before you flip them. Okay, so we're just going to leave them for now and we'll come back to them when they're ready. Okay, so if you have a look at the pancakes now, you'll see that there's little bubbles coming up on the top. And I mean, you could leave them another little bit, but I'm going to turn them now just because I want to continue with the video. So just flip them over and see they're just nicely browned. My frying pan does tend to stick sometimes, so just excuse. Okay, so I'm turning them over. And now we're going to let them cook on the other side. Okay, so we'll come back to you again in a minute when they're... Okay guys, just check underneath your pancakes and you'll see that they're nicely cooked. So you can, when you flip them on the other side, if you want to, you can turn up the heat a little bit for the second side. So I'm going to serve the pancakes. As I say, I'm serving them with bacon. And we'll fight over the extra one. Now, we're going to put some butter and maple syrup on these. So just put a little bit of butter on each one. It depends, it's a personal preference. If you want more, go ahead. And then we're just going to drizzle it with maple syrup. I will say to you, please use pure maple syrup. Don't use that awful pancake syrup. Because it just doesn't taste as good. So I'm just going to drizzle them with maple syrup. And this is an ideal meal because you can have it even in the evening if you get in from work and you're too tired to cook. Soft in the middle, much softer than the crepe pancakes. Okay, thanks everybody. See you again soon. Bye now.